Alright everybody, welcome back. My name is LC and today we're here with another Marvel Mystic Mayhem video. In today's video, we're going to be breaking down the artifacts that are currently in the game as from the beta, but also be giving my opinion on the best artifacts that are in the game as well. Just so you know, like, give my further insight, because again, I've tested the beta and like, I want to give like my quote-unquote 2 cents about the highlights and like what characters they work best for and so on and so on. But honestly, there are a lot of good ones, but like there are a few that really like stand out and I think will really like make or break your characters and your team building. But before we get into that, I want to thank all of you guys for watching up until this point. Whether you're an old or new viewer / subscriber, I appreciate it all of the same. And now let's break it down. So starting off, we're actually going to get into the highlights I actually did not acquire. There's only 2 of them. There are 2 gold ones. There's one for Might and there was one for Striker. We're going to start off with the worthy ones. There's a summon for highlights too at the time in the beta. I don't know if they'll change that, but you could summon for highlights, and this is like the max stats for this highlight and the next one in particular. So it's level 90, awakening stage level 5. The Whirr's HP increases by 30%. The Whirr's attack increases by 12% for 5 seconds after they lose HP. This seems pretty decent in my opinion. You can get extra health points just for having this highlight, right? And you get to increase your attack by 12% for 5 seconds after you lose HP. The only thing I'm wondering is, like, does it stack? Like, if you continuously lose, you know, your health, will you keep on, like, will it reset the timer, or will it we just keep on getting 12% more and more and more? How would that work? But in my opinion, it doesn't seem too bad. In my honest like opinion, I think you could put it on, well, across any other fighter character. The ones off the top of my brain, like maybe Psylocke, you want to put it on too. What's it called? Mr. Negative. He's also a pretty interesting option. Maybe Doppelganger. I don't know if Thor wasn't in the game at the time of the beta, but he does have art. So like, it's not like we don't know it's him. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it got Mjolnir right here. So like, I feel like this might be meant for him mainly, but only time will tell. But like, it could be made for him, but like, it's made for any fighter character because highlights are class specific, right? So it honestly just depends. Next up, we have Fight as One. Fight as One is only for Striker characters. At level 90, awakening stage 5, the Whirr's crit rate increases by 40%. Crit damage increases by 24% if their HP is above 80%. Y'all already know who I'm sticking this on, bro. Scarlet Witch. Like, be for real. Be for real. Granted, you can't, again, it's for any striker, so it's acceptable for Lady Bullseye. It's acceptable for, you know, Storm, Misty Knight. Who else is a striker character in this game? Actually, for Iron Man too. Yeah, he is. Yeah, so any of those striker characters, but in this instance here, I think this is best with Scarlet Witch, because this increases not just crit rate, it increases crit damage too if her HP is above 80%. And if you couple this with the artifacts, I think it was the Midnight Gun that increases the crit rate or crit damage, one of the two. You could use that and actually have the Darkhold alongside it, or the other artifact that increases crit rate or crit damage. Forget the name, but if you get those going, dude, Scarlet Witch is gonna do damage. Like, she already does damage, but damage will be done. Like, it's gonna be freaking heat. I think this artifact, it's probably good. Like, it's basic in terms of crits, but like, I think paired up with the right character and the right amount of artifacts, it could be dangerous. Honestly, super dangerous. The only reason why I didn't really summon 4 highlights in the beta was because like I was trying to acquire a lot of characters, and like there was some I just couldn't get. Like Scarlet Witch, I didn't get until like the very last like couple days of the beta, and I was just like, bro, what? So like, it was hard. If I knew, not if I knew, but like if I had the chance to, like I would have genuinely summoned for this highlight in particular. But honestly, it's okay. Like when the game officially releases, yeah, I definitely will put on Scarlet Witch. Hopefully she works the same way, but you know, yeah, I'll definitely throw it onto her. Next up we have is Ancient Frontier. The Whirr's energy generation increases by 32%. The Whirr gains 40 ultimate energy from using a skill and 1 mana from using their ultimate move. You guys already know, I already went through this in the artifact video, but this highlight works best with, will probably work best with Doctor Strange, of course, and with the Cosmic Cube artifact. The Cosmic Cube artifact already, it gives you 40 mana. No, excuse me. Yeah, it gives you, what was it? It gives you 40 ultimate energy, excuse me. When you use a skill, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, if you use a skill, and it gives it to a random ally too. So, when you're, I don't even want to explain it because I already did last time, and like, just note that like, if you have this artifact, Ancient Frontier, alongside, the Cosmic Cube, dude, come on, like, dude, be for real, like, it's just gonna be so broken. And I think, if you also throw on either Gamma Mutagen, which increases energy generation, or, the Eye of Agamotto, which you gain 1 mana at the start of battle, and you gain another mana every 12 seconds, you're cooking. You're cooking with Doctor Strange. Like, your ultimate move will keep going up and up and up and up, and just up and up and up. It just won't stop going. Oh my goodness, man. This probably is my favorite artifact to use, because when you throw it on Doctor Strange, right? Again, you're just boosting up your ultimate energy, like, with the quickness. And then again, if you get this artifact, if you use this highlight with the right artifacts with Doctor Strange, you're most likely getting your ultimate under 10 seconds. Like, I'm like 10 timer counts in games, what I mean, but like, it's just that good. Like, I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, it's just that peak. It's honestly, it's fire in my opinion. Like, it's just that good. Next up, we have is Blessing of Vishanti. The wearer's HP increases by 10% after using their ultimate move. The wearer gains a shield equal to 10% of their HP. The wearer deals 8% more damage and takes 8% less damage while they have a shield. I forgot to mention, the last highlight earlier is only for controller characters, and this highlight's only for defender characters. So, I don't mind this highlight. I think it's pretty good, but like, you have to use it on the right defensive character. Now, to like truly maximize this highlight, I think it works best if you use armor with it, or if you give any defender character like some kind of highlight, like the shield ring. What's it called? It's the whatever sling ring or whatever. It's a ring, but it gives you a shield if you fall below 50% of your max health. So you can utilize this with that shield. But if you have armor, you already gain a shield from, well, if you have enough dupes in there, you can get a shield pretty quickly in the match, because it'll cost 2 mana points instead of 3 if you get dupes in here and you put them to the right side. And also, again, just using your skill, she'll gain a shield too, right? So it's kind of like a free one for you. I think it works best for her in my opinion, but that's just me and how I view it. If you want to throw it on Man-Thing or, you know, Hulk, you can too, or Juggernaut. Juggernaut can actually get a shield too from some of his special skills. But I mean, I think it just works best with armor, because you can get them more effectively and have a better effective shield, right? It can work for any other defensive character, right? To be honest, overall, in terms of all the gold ones, I think this comes in at number 2 or maybe 3. Like, the crit one seems kind of interesting. I haven't tried it yet, but it does seem kind of interesting. I'm kind of placing that number 2 or 3ish. Number 1 is definitely Ancient Frontier, the Doctor Strange one, or the controller one. And the last one is like the Thor, what was it, Fight as One or something? It's a name. No, that's not the one. It's the Worthy One. Excuse me. The Worthy Ones is number 4 for me, but the number 1 is Ancient Frontier. That one's it's just peak. But let's move on to the more rare and more common highlights that are in the game. Okay, so next up we have is Vow to Protect. The wearer's outgoing healing increases by 32% after using a skill or ultimate move that heals. They gain 1 mana. I actually forget which class this belongs to, and if it's healing, I think it's controller class. And seeing how Sleepwalker is here, it kind of does have that little controller symbol. I'm guessing it's that. It is pretty decent. I think using this is beneficial for your healing kind of characters. I do wish like I don't think you can give this to Man-Thing, because he's a defensive character. So like, it will be not like, Man-Thing's healing is nice, but like, I think Sleepwalker's is a tad bit better. And then you have Doctor Strange, which is healing is just out the wazoo. So like I think these characters will, like those two characters will benefit if we don't have like, you know, Ancient Frontier as a highlight. This will Battle Protect is pretty decent. Next up we have is Guardian of Reality. All allied defenders defense increased by 10%, all allied fighters attack increases by 10%, and all allied strikers crit rate increases by 12%. I think that this artifact is pretty nifty. It's like made for everybody, but can only be equipped by one person. That's being the defensive character. So let's say Man Thing or Hulk equips this. He not only he gains bonuses, but like everyone around him, like that's in a different class, can also gain bonuses too. So like let's say Hulk has this highlight equipped, and Scarlet Witch is his teammate, her being a striker character. She gains an extra 12% to her crit rate. Let's say also, I don't know, Moon Knight is also a teammate on the battlefield. He's a fighter character. Same with Black Knight too. He gains extra attack, which is 10% extra to him. So like you're kind of cooking all the way around. Like granted, like it's not just for you, it's for the whole team. So like it's not gonna be as like not standard, but like it's not just for one, it's for everybody, right? It's shared amongst you, so it's not like you're just getting the bonuses for the whole team. So that's something you have to take into account, but like I'm sure everyone's fine with that. Like there's nothing wrong with that inherently. Next up we have is Friends on Street. The wearer's attack increases by 16%. The wearer deals 6% more damage to debuffed enemies. I believe this is a striker based highlight. It's alright. It's nothing too crazy or anything. I do like that you have an attack increase, and that when you place debuffs on enemies, you do more damage. Well, yeah, you do more damage for 6%. I'm just thinking, like, is it? I don't know if it's per debuff. That's the only thing. If it's per debuff, that'd be pretty cool. But like, I don't think it works like that. But it would be pretty cool. You know, Misty does have a It's weird because like she has a freezing move, but you have to get a dupe into her to get the actual freezing debuff. So it's like why? Like, you know what I mean? It's like it's not bad, but it's like I feel like that should be the standard of having a freezing attack. But like it is what it is, right? I'm just thinking like what other striker characters place that debuff onto the characters. I forget which. I know there's some, but I honestly forget. But honestly, I'm thinking of McMisty only right now, but it works for her in my opinion. Next we have is a Hired Blade. The wearer's attack increases by 16%. After the wearer performs a follow-up attack, their attack increases by 10% for 10 seconds. I do think this highlight is probably one of the better wearer runs that are in the game. I do think that this probably works best for Lady Bullseye. Not just because she's on the cover, but like she has like follow-ups built into her kit already as it is, so like she could really benefit off the attack increases that she already gained from having the follow-ups, right? Another character I'm thinking is like Psylocke. She has follow-ups. Oh, and Spider-Man too. They both have follow-ups in their kit, but I'm pretty sure this is only striker based for the characters. So like I'm guessing like I don't know, like yeah, I don't know, like because like, not every character can really follow up or like, get the chance to, right? So you have to put on characters that can, and mainly Lady Bullseye is one of those characters. So like it works for her. Like I've seen it and tested it. It works for her in a really good fashion. But yeah, no. Do I enjoy that these highlights are kind of like class specific? Yeah, I don't think it's a bad choice. But sometimes it's like, dang, I wish you could like they share it amongst each other. You know what I mean? Like there's some that can do that, but like not every one of them can. Okay, next up we have is Rising from the Ashes. The wearer's attack increases by 16%. After using a skill or ultimate move, the wearer deals 10% more damage for 10 seconds. This artifact is for fighter characters, so as Psylocke is on the screen, she is a fighter character. So characters like Moon Knight, Black Knight, Doppelganger, Mr. Negative, those characters can benefit off of this highlight. I think it's not bad. Increasing your damage for 10 seconds isn't bad. So like overall you're getting a 26% damage increase after you use this skill, essentially, or if you use your ultimate to move. So I think it's pretty nifty. It's pretty cool to have. It's pretty crafty. It's nothing too crazy in my opinion, but like it's nothing bad to have, right? It's a nice little boost to your damage. Next up we have is Hell Out. The wearer's attack increases by 60%. I feel like that's the basis for most of these highlights. The effect doubles if there are no more than 2 enemies on the field. This isn't bad, right? But it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's because like it doesn't, not that it doesn't activate, like the card already is activated because you already get that 60% damage increase, or attack increase I should say, but like you don't really get that second portion until like less than, or 2 or less enemies on the field. So like it's decent, it's okay, but like it's just, it's you know what I mean, it's Touched by Khonshu, pause. The wearer's attack increases by 60%. Their energy generation increases by 16% if there is another allied defender or fighter. It's pretty basic in my opinion. It's kind of a team-based highlight in my opinion. All you can really do is it's the same as all the other highlights with the rare ones anyway. Like you get your attack increase for 16%, and but you know, the only thing that's different is you get your energy generation. If you're paired up with different classes of different characters, which is cool in my opinion. It sucks that there's no striker character involved in it, but like, yeah, that's fine. Next off, we have is Monster Within. The wearer's HP finally increases by 60%. Enemies adjacent to the wearer deal 8% less damage to the wearer. It's pretty self-explanatory, I guess. You know, just get healthy, deal less damage. Pretty much it. Next is Learn from the Best. The wearer's defense increases by 16%. It also increases by 4% for every 5 seconds after battle starts, stacking up to 5 times. So this is obviously made for defensive characters like Armor, Hulk, Man-Thing, Juggernaut. But I do think that if you don't have that, is it Blessing Vishanti, whatever it's called, that the highlight I showed you guys earlier, the one I placed at basically number 3, this is a pretty good substitute because you're increasing your defense exponentially, and also having it increase for every 5 seconds for 4%. That's heat. I mean, it stacks up to 4 times, of course. So like its max is like 36%, I think. That's still a good defensive increase. So like, I'm not complaining about that at all. This is one of the better highlights in my opinion. Next off, we have is Adapt and Evolve. The wearer's outgoing healing increases by 24%. Basic goes to your controller characters. I'm pretty sure that's about it. Nothing too crazy. Doctor Strange, probably Sleepwalkers your go-to for this. I'm thinking it's a controller highlight, but I'm not too sure. Next off, we have is the Weavers of Dream. The wearer gains 90 ultimate energy at the start of battle. Yeah, this isn't bad either. It's not bad, but like, it's only it's a one-off thing, right? You get it at the start of battle, and that's it. You don't get it anymore after that. So take that with what you will. 90 ultimate energy is good inherently, but you just get it the one time. That's it. So think about how you want to use that. Next off, we have is Ancient Allies. The wearer's attack increases by 12%. Basic. That's just what it is. It's basic. Nothing too crazy. It's just basic. Next off, we have is Hear Me Roar. The wearer's attack increases by 1% up to 30% for every 1% HP lost. So if you lose basically 30% HP, you're gaining 30% HP. That's basically how it works. Nothing too crazy. And I'm guessing this works for controller characters since Devil Dinosaur is in the front. Again, it's a lot to remember, and like the game isn't online anymore, so I'm going off of memory here. So like, I'm just kind of like, I'm trying to pull it in. I'm trying. Next up is Cyttorak's Command, or is it Cyttorak or Cyttorak? Whatever. By Cyttorak's Command, the wearer's attack increases by 20% for every 15 seconds after they use their ultimate move. This can be pretty interesting, I think, in my opinion. It's little like, it's the comment. It's not that too it's not a crazy highlight, but it's nothing to be like afraid of, you know. I think used correctly, I think is it defensive? I think it might be defensive. If it was for controller, that wouldn't be bad. Like Doctor Strange, like he could use his tools ability too, because an attack increase is nice, but like I think Doctor Strange is best as a support. So yeah, for Juggernaut, Hulk, I guess Armor. I mean, yeah, it can work for Armor, but like, actually, yeah, you could throw it on Armor too, because you do want to have a good attack increase. You do want to have a good attack increase for her as well. But yeah, no, I think Juggernaut mainly probably benefit off of this, not just because like his, you know, I forget what, like his herald or whatever it is, his leader, whatever you want to call it, is on the picture. But like, if I'm remembering correctly, it does work for their classes. Next up, we have is Never Surrender. The wearer takes 8% less damage if their HP is below 50%. This can come in clutch in some instances, but again, it's only a one-time thing, so you're gonna have to plan wisely here. Now we have Light in Darkness. The wearer's defense increases by 12%. Nothing crazy. It's just a defense increase. Nothing crazy. It's good to have, of course, but it's nothing crazy. And lastly, we have, I don't know why it took me forever to get this highlight too, by the way. It took me a long time. It took me to like the second last day to get this. It is Make a Dream. The wearer's crit rate increases by 16%. So if you don't have any crit based highlights on you when you start the game or whatever the case may be, you could throw this onto, actually I don't know, it might be for striker characters. I never got to test this out in game because I got it very late, and at the time I got it, the beta was basically done. Like, it was the second last day. I was like, I got it, like, you know what, man, forget it. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, your basic highlight, I don't want you anymore. Like, there's no point. You know what I mean? But yeah, it does seem interesting. I think it's a good substitute if you don't have any, again, crit based highlights. But I wouldn't like hold your breath to say like the best. Is probably, it could come in handy maybe, but like maybe if you get more awakening stages into it, it'll probably be better. But it doesn't seem too bad overall. So that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what highlights you guys think are the best in the game, and also let me know how would you make your own personal highlight that will benefit some characters in the game as well. With that being said, my name is LC. Have an amazing day. God bless, and I will catch you all in the next Marvel Mystic Mayhem video.